guidance for the week. Congratulations to President Trump on his victory last night. Very excited for the next 4 years, and hopefully things greatly improve. All right, so it was easier to do this as a live today than to upload a bunch of videos, so you guys might start seeing me do more lives over here. We'll play it by ear. We'll see how it goes. What do we need to know about raising the vibration? What do we need to see this week? Ooh, honesty is the best policy. It always is. Sometimes the truth kind of stings a little bit, but I feel like if you are telling the truth to yourself and others, then it's definitely easier to swallow than any sort of lies or deception. Believing is seeing. So normally the saying is seeing is believing. This is all about manifesting. It has to do with the higher chakras, the crown chakra, the third eye. And sometimes we have to envision the things that we want to happen before we will see them. That's kind of how manifesting actually works. So it's important that if you are trying to get to a different place in life, no matter what that happens to be, that you start to actually visualize what it is you want to happen. So start seeing it in your mind. Create things like a vision board. What is that? Well, you can cut out little pictures, or you can create little collages of things that you wish to attract into your everyday 3D reality. And so after looking at it over and over again, it slowly starts to materialize into your actual reality. And it actually does work. You could put things on your screensaver on your phone. You could put things around your desk at work. You could do any number of things to actually start to visualize what you want to attract in. So seeing is believing. Believing is seeing. Interesting. All right. And your aura is magnetic to golden opportunities. So again, that works with manifestation as well. So I feel like you need to start really kind of setting some goals. We're almost at the end of 2024. So we've got holidays. So be magnetic to golden opportunities, things that are positive in your life, and you will start to attract these. It's your energy, your frequency that spirit responds to when you manifest. So it's important that you are at a high vibration when you try to attract things. If you realize that it's negative, do something to shift it. And forgiveness brings freedom. So break the chains of unforgiveness and actually move forward. Let go of the things that are hindering your growth and progress. Green is associated with the heart chakra, so this is about opening up your heart. If you want to forgive and forget, totally your choice. It's better for you if you're able to do that. I love how there's butterflies on that card, so that really is a symbol of change and transformation. We're still in Scorpio season, so that's another reason that we are going through some major changes and transformations. Hey, Mrs. Doubtfire. Hello, welcome everybody. All right, so let's see what starseed messages we have. We the Hathors, deep love, mother's milk, and birth as a portal. So we're entering a new phase. Spiritually speaking, things are always transforming, but this is an indication that we're like going from one place to another energetically, and that things are progressively shifting forward. So needing to nurture the things that you want to grow in order to get there, but lots of positive energy trying to come in. What else? Big picture thinking. So again, portals, lots and lots of doorways opening. I feel like there's going to be a lot of opportunities for the collective that just start to kind of appear almost out of nowhere. It won't be. You're doing the work in order to get there. But this is telling us that things are changing, and we need to look at the bigger picture. We need to see that we can have a vision for what we want. Palladius energy, visionary, and inspired ideas. So what is inspiring you? How old am I? I'm 44. All right, what else do we need to see? Deep cellular healing, Arcturus energy, physical and emotional healing. So this could be about forgiving past mistakes. This could be about moving forward towards things that are better for us and letting go of the negativity that surrounds us. How funny that all three of these cards all have a portal or doorway, every last one of them. So things are rapidly going to start changing. You're going to start to actually notice those. And I feel like the shift from 3D to 4D, 4D to 5D, it's all about ourselves having to accelerate to get to this higher vibrational frequency and energy. So definitely some big things changing. One more from Star Seeds. There we go. Trust the timing, trust the wave that you came in on, and know that time is not running out. So sometimes we feel really hurried. We feel like we have to hurry up and get someplace. We have to hurry and do this, always in a rush. Sometimes we need to actually slow down and realize that everything happens in divine timing. You are exactly where you are meant to be at any given time. Don't feel like there is a rush. The waves that you came in on. Dolores Cannon is somebody who would really put this much better than I can. She's a great author. There's lots of books that she wrote out there. Go check some of those out. She talks about the 3 waves of volunteers. So the first one would have been in like the 1960s, 70s, so the baby boom generation that really brought in a lot of massive changes. Then it would have been Gen X that came in and they brought in a lot of change as well, but they're more of the observers. And so they're just their physical presence in the reality that we are in is affecting great change. So we're supposed to kind of like document things, be observant of things, and to physically shift things just by our own presence of being here. The third wave of volunteers is where things start to really get like a little crazy. So like, what is it? Gen Z, Gen Alpha, I want to say is the next wave that she's talking about. And she talks about how this wave of people comes in with very little, if any, karma. So they don't have a lot of like negative impact. They have a lot of positive impact. And what happens is all of these younger, new age ways of thinking, they question everything. They question the status quo. They question, why do we do things this way? And if there's a better way, why don't we change things for the better and make things easier? So we're going to start to see a lot of like big picture thinking start to change. We're in the age of Aquarius, so things are really starting to kind of come out of the darkness, out of the shadows, and be exposed to the light because they have to change. It's all part of how we get to the 5D. Not everybody is on the same track. You will start to notice a major separation from people who are stuck in the 3D, which is a lot of conflict and chaos, and a lot of people who are really prioritizing their peace, love, and harmony because that's what we're trying to shift things to. So trust the wave that you came in on. All right, what do we need to see from the Ascended Masters? Interesting. All right, we start with Kali Ma, facing fear. Fear is something that holds us back from where we're really meant to be. And all decisions in life are based out of one or the other emotion of fear or love. So which do you want to base your choices out of? Facing your fear. Major spiritual changes are unfolding, and this is your chance to soar. So Kali Ma is kind of like the death card in tarot. And so she's symbolic for major transformations, death and rebirth, cycles closing, spiritual changes, spiritual activity could be picking up around you as well. And this is your time to shine. So especially spiritually speaking. Commander Ashtar, a call to action. So I feel like for some of us, our spiritual gifts and callings are going to be placed at the forefront, and that we're going to be able to kind of showcase our gifts, talents, and abilities, whatever those happen to be. Not all of us share the same spiritual gifts. Some of us are teachers. Some of us are empaths. Some of us are psychics and mediums. Some of us are meant to be interceders and stand in the gap between the spiritual and the physical to help change things. Some of us are called to be warriors. There's all sorts of different spiritual gifts that we can possess. So a call to action, it's time to take charge, lead by example, and walk your talk. So you're going to have to put your money where your mouth is. You may have to actually step up to the plate. You might have to defend yourself or others. And this is something that you are going to energetically or spiritually feel called to do at the right time. And Lady Portia, Divine Order. Do what you feel is right because an important lesson is unfolding. So whatever the lesson happens to be, Spirit wants you to learn that lesson, master that lesson, grow and transform. One more. Awesome. All right. And Archangel Michael, trusting heaven. You are safe. Angels stand close. Surrender your concerns and allow a miracle to occur. So something is changing energetically at a spiritual level. Archangel Michael's energy is really interesting. I've had a few encounters with him over the years. It's a completely different energetic field to be in versus just tapping into the spiritual realms. For those of you who've never seen me before, I am a medium and I do channel from spirit quite often. So when his energy comes forward, it's almost like this really peaceful, protected energy. It almost feels like a warm hug that surrounds you when you kind of step into that presence. And he's come to me a few times in dreams and once during a meditation. And I feel like his presence is always there to support and to calm and protect. And so he comes wielding his blue fiery sword and his shield. And when the last time that I encountered him was about 2 years ago, and I had a dream about him and Lilith. And I was unsure of who they were at first, but I watched Michael slay a dragon in front of me out of the darkness. And then I saw Lilith step forward, and her presence was very protective as well. And they both said that they were offering energetic or spiritual protection through the spiritual warfare that light workers tend to face. And so they said to call on them when I needed extra help or assistance. And they want everybody to know that that is available to them should they need it, should they want it. Simply ask. So that was really important that they wanted to share. So you are safe. Angels, stand close. Surrender your concerns and allow a miracle to occur. So let's see what the angels have for us this week. What do we need to know, angels? Strength and guidance. I feel like spirit, especially the angels, are trying to tell us that we are always protected, that we have power in numbers, and energetically I can see just walls and walls and walls of angels, like an army of them. And they want us to know that all we have to do is ask. Why do we have to ask? Because we have free will. They don't want to impose their will on us. They want us to be able to choose. What do we want? What do we desire? They want us to experience things at a soul, at a human experience here on earth while we're here, because eventually we will leave this vessel and we will transcend back to the ethers and we will learn more lessons as we grow. So they want us to know that we are protected, we are strong, and they are always here to guide us. Guardian angel. I feel like angels are coming in massive droves right now. I feel like your guardian angel is always trying to lead you where you need to be. And I feel like your guardian angel is always trying to communicate with you. The question is, are you tapped in? Are you listening? Because I feel like they're going to give you signs. They're going to, maybe they make your ears ring for a certain reason. Maybe you're seeing repeating numbers. Maybe you're seeing certain things that are a specific symbol for you. They're going to communicate in a way that makes sense for you to understand. And if you don't, ask them to show you in other ways. It is possible. Divine timing tells us that it is happening in God's timing, not our timing. So divine timing is always the best timing. It's when everything is in perfect alignment for things to work at the best possible outcome. I feel like if we are trying to, again, rush things forward, it's not going to work out how we expect it to. So patience is definitely required. It's not always fun to have to sit back and wait for things to happen, but it always works out the best if we do. All right, one more. Angels, what do we need to see? Vulnerability and freedom. Interesting. So by being your most authentic version of yourself and not hiding the imperfections, angels want you to know that that gives you a sense of freedom, that you don't have to hide behind a mask. You don't have to be anything that you aren't actually in your reality, and that spirit wants you to know that just being yourself is enough. So be yourself, let your light shine. Put your best foot forward every single day and know that you have a legion of angels that support you on your path. Love that. All right, from the dragons, think of them as kind of like another set of guardians for you. What do we need to know from the dragons today for their spiritual guidance? Ooh, the courage dragon. Love that. So this is all about finding your voice, being able to express yourself in meaningful ways, being able to stand up for you, for your family, for your belief system, and having the courage to keep going. So this guardian will tell us that if you feel like you are a little bit weak or you're feeling challenged, know that you can find the courage from within and that the dragons will help you to find that. The Death card. So symbolic of Scorpio energy, Scorpio season, telling us that we're going through a transformative phase in life and that the angels and the guardians are helping to assist us through that transformative energy. But it does take courage. The silence dragon is all about things happening behind the scenes. So in the silence, we grow. In the silence, we can rest. Time is not running out. But in the quiet is when things are actually happening. And sometimes we don't see that. So find some peace and quiet in your life today. Sit in silence with your guides, with your guardians, with your angels, with your dragons, God, source, spirit, the universe, whatever you call that, and find some time to find the silence. I feel like that is how we really truly connect to source energy, and that we need to find that quiet, especially within. Sometimes it's a little too chaotic up in our brains, so we need to find that peace and that quiet in order to find our center, to ground, to meditate, to pray, and there we will find some answers that we need. All right. And self-worth. That might be part of your focus this week, is focusing on how do you feel? How do you feel about yourself, your circumstances, your environment? And can you focus some energy inward on rebuilding things that aren't working, or finding your strength, your courage, your confidence in order to keep going forward? All right. Our last deck for this message. This one is called Soul's Journey. We have honesty. We also have, I love how Spirit does this. Honesty is the best policy. We have honesty here as well. So Spirit's trying to make sure that everybody is on the truthful path. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. So always be true to yourself. Never lie to yourself. It's definitely not a winning thing. We want to make sure that the truth always reigns supreme. Somebody has some doubt somewhere, and I feel like Spirit's trying to get you to see that things can change and that you don't have to doubt how good life can actually be. I release the need to know all of the answers. So sometimes Spirit will come in with this big idea for things, and we have doubt or fear that creeps in. The doubt comes from our ego, and so we need to replace that with courage. We need to replace that with love and not operate in fear, because fear is ego, and we want to operate from our heart space and our intuition, which is love. When I channel, I always trip over my words. So I feel like Spirit's trying to tell us, don't doubt, don't have fear, replace it. We're going to make miracles happen. All right, forgiveness. This one also came out. Freedom and forgiveness. Freedom brings forgiveness. Forgiveness brings freedom. Love that. All right. I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. So we want love to flow. We don't want to block that for any reason whatsoever. So if we're harboring resentment, unforgiveness, those things are blocking our energy, our chakras, our chi, in order for us to actually have love flow. If there's a blockage or a kink in the line somewhere, we aren't able to actually express how we feel. There's something blocking it. So by releasing that blockage, by giving forgiveness or setting ourselves free from all of this negativity, mindset, feelings, emotions, we're able to actually have that energy flow again, and that's super important. So I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love, so let it flow. One more. And growth. We're going to start to see a lot of growth energetically and spiritually in the next couple of months especially, but throughout 2025 and even into 2026, there's going to be massive expansions for growth spiritually. That doesn't mean that other areas won't be affected. They will as well, but energetically, I feel like we are just barely scratching the surface of how good things can actually become, and we're going to start to see exponential growth. Says, I want to expand my consciousness and my awareness. So I feel like for the collective, we're going to start to really tap into that 4D, 5D energy. And you're going to start to see major shifts of people that they just kind of separate. It's like energetically, we don't vibrate anymore. It has zero to do with anything else. It's the energy. You're just not in alignment. We have to release that with love, let it go, and let it grow. That's what I have for your message today. I hope something resonates. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you next time.